I'd cautiously say these situations arise like when people cheat. It just happens. I'm not actively looking for it, it just occurs.
Yeah, who doesn't know that? You're walking down the street and just fall into someone else and bam, it happens. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Adnan Does It. Today we're reacting to a video from the show Alf Clo on the toilet. It's about an open marriage, and this is funded by public broadcasting. So with my and your money, let's take a look at this nonsense and react to it together.
Hi, I'm Hannah,
Hi, I'm Chris.
and we recently got married, but our relationship isn't exactly like what you'd call a typical relationship.
We have an open marriage, meaning we're also involved with other people.
And that's what we're discussing today on Alf Clo.
First of all, this isn't marriage. Here's the definition of marriage and what it entails. Exclusivity of partners is absolutely part of it, especially the sexual aspect.
This is Hannah and this is Chris, her husband. But it's not really a traditional marriage with you two, is it?
No, we have an open marriage.
I wonder whose idea this was. People always say it was mutual with these things, but I can't imagine two people sitting in a room simultaneously going, hey, let's sleep with other people. Women often use this when breaking up with a guy who's always treated them well, but became boring. And when asked how it ended, they always say it was mutual. No, it wasn't. One person always ends it. It's always one person who comes up with this idea. And we'll try to figure out by the end of the video whose idea this open marriage was.
Hannah and Chris got married in Barcelona a few weeks ago. Under the pretense of just celebrating their birthday, they gathered friends and family.
And then we surprised our family and friends?
Everything seemed so beautiful and easy, but it wasn't always like that for them. They've known each other for 10 years, mostly in an on-off relationship. Last year, their relationship almost fell apart again. They took a break during which Hannah even hooked up with Bachelor star Nico.
10 years on-off with different sexual partners sounds familiar. She was already on TV with other guys just a year before the wedding. Impressive.
The final rose ultimately went to the one and only Chris. Except wait, in your open marriage, Chris isn't actually the one and only, just one of many, right? Can you really separate sex and love?
No way. Especially women form emotional bonds through orgasms. The more men a woman sleeps with, the higher the chance she'll meet someone who's a better fit than him.
Okay, here you go.
Ready?
Okay, they're about to answer questions either from the show or from commenters. This should be interesting.
Okay, if you're already in an open relationship, why get married? That's just more commitment.
Better tax benefits. Nothing else comes to mind. The woman gets a safety net. When something breaks at home or the car needs fixing, there's always a man to help. She always has someone to rely on emotionally, but when she wants sex, she goes to real men who don't look or act like him, because women typically don't find those types attractive anyway.
It's about commitment and love.
What love? Let me show you the definition of love. It's clearly about being devoted to one person.
Legally, too.
Yeah, tax benefits already mentioned that.
People seem to think marriage means I'll only have sex with my spouse now, but that's not really the main point of marriage.
Then what is? What are the functions of marriage? You've slaughtered all the sacred cows. What's left? Guess we're not getting an explanation.
Right, and that's kind of sad.
Did you open the relationship just to save it?
Yes, of course not. What do you mean by save it?
That makes it sound like it was in danger.
10 years on off and appearing on The Bachelor a year before the wedding sounds super stable. Unbelievable. I'm sure the relationship was never in danger because there was no relationship. 10 years on off means you were just fuck buddies, friends with benefits, period.
I've read so many comments assuming either Chris desperately wanted an open relationship and I'm suffering through it, or that I forced it and he's the victim.
Exactly. It's obvious who wanted this open relationship and who didn't. Who's enjoying it and who's being publicly humiliated. Look at their body language. She's confident, dominating the conversation, while he's submissive, staring at the ground, constantly checking with her. Am I saying this right? Pathetic behavior for TV. Unbelievable what some men tolerate.
I think many people stay in these arrangements just to avoid losing their partner. What they lack is communication.
Communication. That's what really interests me now, because with these kinds of relationships, it's always about openness, and in the end, they have more rules than any normal relationship ever would. That's why I'm curious. Now let's take a look at what these rules are and how they communicate about it when someone hooks up with your partner.
If you absolutely wanted an open relationship and I didn't, then it just wouldn't work. Either both partners would have to compromise, which I think could lead to a breakup, and that would be a completely legitimate reason for me if the fundamental basis of a relationship isn't there.
So like with everything, it really comes down to communication. Do both partners genuinely want this? Then it can work. Otherwise, it's obviously going to be harder than any other compromise you might make in a relationship.
Sure, no compromises here, just great communication. Let's see how this plays out.
Why isn't sex with each other enough? What's different about sex with others?
That's easier for you to answer, right?
Of course, you can clearly see the submissive partner deferring the question yet again, constantly looking to her for approval. Is everything we're doing and saying okay? He hands off the tough questions to the dominant partner, and in this case, that's obviously the woman.
Well, I'm bisexual.
Of course you are. She's bisexual. Obviously she is. Now we also know who originally pushed to open this relationship. This is just her way of softening the blow. You're not enough for me because I'm into women too. Though let's be real, she's clearly into men as well, Bachelor. Notice how everything revolves around her? Tinder, The Bachelor, bisexuality, freedom, experiences. It's always her in a relationship. Weird, right?
We met very young. I want to experience life. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to limit myself.
And here we go again. I need to explore myself. I need this, I need that. Me. Because apparently 10 years of on-off wasn't enough. Exploring. Now she'll do this forever. Clearly she's with the wrong guy. You can't explore with a loser like him. Hence the I need me classic. Just look at his body language and face. Does this look like a man thriving while his wife lists all his inadequacies? Oh yeah, that's the face of pure joy.
This works for me. It's my personal best solution.
Personally, for me, this is the best way. And there it is, clear as day. These two don't have a relationship. There's no we here. It's all about what she wants. Textbook egocentric narcissistic behavior. Definition here.
That's kind of the biggest misconception, that people believe we're just happily jumping around through some dating apps and hanging out at swinger parties. Everyone can do as they like, but that's not how we do it.
In this picture, you can clearly see it again from the body language. She is explaining what's okay for both of them, what's not, what the rules are, and he is looking submissively at the ground, scratching his neck, looking very insecure, letting himself be led. Clearly submission.
I said we're not like that earlier, but I don't want to talk for the both of us. I am not like that.
Naturally, I wonder who gets more opportunities in this arrangement. As a woman, it's far easier for her to end up in some drunk guy's bed after a party. How could this deal ever be fair for the man? Women have it infinitely easier in this regard.
Instead, we've set this little rule for ourselves that if something happens, like when you meet someone at a party or while out with friends, and there's an opportunity and you feel like having that interaction with that person, you shouldn't have to hold yourself back just because you're in a relationship.
Where do you meet hookups?
It happens organically, like cheating does. I don't seek it out.
Not in everyday situations, though. I'm not thinking about it then.
Now we're back to them making compromises. Despite claiming their excellent communication means no compromises. Here she's talking him into accepting her picking up random guys at the grocery store. As if men get these opportunities so easily. Let's be real. A man can't just meet a woman at the supermarket and immediately sleep with her. A guy needs looks, intelligence, charisma, success, and solid social status just to get a date after weeks of effort. Meanwhile, if a woman propositions 5 random dudes at the store with, "Wanna sleep with me?" they'll all say yes without question. This proves their arrangement isn't fair. He's making all the compromises, not her.
Imagine meeting someone at the supermarket.
Yeah, like I am in the supermarket and then think, let me just go hit on someone real quick. Ridiculous. That would just be nonsense. You have your everyday life, as I said. We're not looking for it. I'm not looking for it.
Yeah, right, you're totally not looking. And we all know how that saying goes. You'll find it when you're not looking. All right, that's it for today, folks. Hope you're staying tuned for part 2. Drop a comment below, letting me know what you thought of this first part. And if there are any other videos you'd want to see me react to, hit me up in the comments. Until next time, you're Adnan from Adnan Does It.